Alright everyone, welcome back to an episode of the F124 Drive Camera with Toro Rosso. This is part number 17 today for the Australian Grand Prix of Season 2, round number 1. If you missed the pre-season episode uploaded last week, I recommend you go and check that one out before seeing this one to show where we are, as well as Laurent Mechelier's, apologies, he wants us to be in the midfield. I think we've got a little bit of work to get there, but we are close. As well in some places, Sonoda and Ricardo, and they've done some upgrades as well. The manufacturers, Honda provided a lot of upgrades as well, but yeah, I couldn't do anything as well, so I had to fast forward 3 weeks to actually be able to put an upgrade on as well. Sonoda's looking at tyre wear, so he's not got much as either as well. So yeah, I'm going to look at ERS. It's a minor ERS, but it unlocks more engine power, and it should come in time. There's a no % failure chance, so that's definitely going to come in. If that fails, then that's a bug. I don't know what it is with RB Toro Rosso, AlphaTauri, what we'll call them. I don't know what it is with their R&D percentages having 0 when everyone else is failing. Now, I showed you this in last week's video, but I mean, just to show you again the R&D chart where we stand with the 7th fastest team on the grid. We have closed in on Williams. I think they're going to be our early challengers in the first part of the season. But, of course, first up, without any upgrades at all, it's time to get used to the car. As well, obviously different car to the Williams itself, because obviously it's a different engine. So yes, what I'd like to do is actually get onto track. However,
alright, get ready to jump out if you get too hot in there. There's a problem with the cooling system and it's going to take us a few minutes to correct it. Okay, me again, mate. We've made some changes to the way the ERS works this year.
Shut up!
Stay. I'll check back with you soon to chat more about it.
Mark there up to his usual shenanigans. Unfortunately, had a little bit of a calling issue as well at the start there, and obviously Mark just decided to carry on rambling as well. But yes, finally here in Australia in the new Toro Rosso AlphaTauri RB Money Cash thing, whatever it's called this week, as well. Yeah, Australia's not my best track, as you can see. P19 was good enough the first run, and obviously this is the first run I've done against the AI since they've updated the AI in a couple of patches ago in career mode, and it's not going that great through the middle set. I'm actually slightly down on my previous best time. That's not great as well. I do feel that this AlphaTauri lacks a bit of straight line speed, which is just as well we're getting that ERS upgrade, which will hopefully also unlock some engine upgrades for us. But we do need to look at potentially doing some more for the Sashi as well, because it just looks a little bit lacking of speed. Yeah, although I will admit Australia, not the best track, not driven this car before as well, and across the line there, well, what will only be P19 anyway. Sonoda up in P12, so yeah, I've got a little bit of work to do to get used to how this car performs as well, and obviously try and make the upgrades, make sure that this car feels like how I want it to feel. But yes, are points possible from the back row of the grid in Australia? We'll have to wait and see. It's time for the race then, to today's Australian Grand Prix for the start of Season 2.
Months of rumour and speculation all comes to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. It's Albert Park Circuit, 3.2 miles of bumpy city streets. We have changed the turns at 1, 3, 6 and 13. They have all been widened. We've got rid of the chicane at 9 and 10. That is now a flat-out right-hander. It's a new look that made its debut in 2022. New life into an old classic. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Sainz, Stroll, Tsunoda, Teo Porcher, Magnussen, Bottas, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Phoenix, and Zhou Guanyu. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Welcome to the commentary box overlooking the circuit. I'm Alex Jakes, and joining us for the race today is Naomi Schiff. Well, welcome back. After all the testing, the build-up, it all now comes down to this.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
Back of the grid, not great, I know, but let's just try and use the first lap to push your way up the order.
So here we are down the grid. Our race strategy is a one stop. Now, I'm not going to go on hards. A lot of the AI are going to go medium hards, but I don't really enjoy the hard tyre on this game. I never really have done on the NEF1 game. I always prefer to go as soft as possible. So that is my plan for today. Vibrant lights in for the start of Season 2. Down under in Australia, and away we go. It's an okay start. Look at Zhou's start. That's an incredible start from the Sauber there. So I'm going to go around the outside of a few cars here. Both Alpines there going very slowly into turn 1 as well. Now I'm trying to get past as a Haas and another Sauber. That's probably Bottas. It's Bottas and Hulkenberg. Double dive on there. Can I get Magnussen? No, I can't carry on with Magnussen. No. Side by side as we enter now the middle. Well, not start at the end of the first sector. Magnussen's gone a bit slow out of the car park at turn 3. Side by side down to the end of the first sector. Down the inside, and a lovely move up to P14 already as well. This is not an area that I really don't recall ever making a move here at this corner. But yeah, it has happened today on Magnussen. Up at the front, Max Verstappen leads the right way then from his brand new teammate Lando Norris as well. George Russell is third, and then it's the two McLarens followed by I think that is one of the Ferraris. It is one of the Ferraris. I couldn't quite see which one. As Bottas gets past both Haas cars because Hulkenberg had developed a fault actually as well. Sorry, not Hulkenberg. Magnussen had developed a fault as well, or one of the Haas cars there, and you know, Haas have lost out, and now Bottas is all over the back of me, as I don't have the pace to catch Tsunoda really, or Porcher. Those two have come to touch. Bottas is going to go at me. Here's a replay of this move that Bottas just tried to go around the outside, and I just basically, you know, he wasn't. If you're going to make that move there, you need to be later on. Later in the way. Meanwhile, up the road, Alex Albon's doing a fantastic job to keep. I think that's P8 as well. So he's definitely in the points. He's got Hamilton, Stroll, and one of the Ferraris. I think that's Sainz behind him, as well as Bottas once again is having a go with DRS, but unable to do so. The Sauber in this career mode is a lot faster than the Sauber in real life. To be honest, I mean the Sauber would not be making. There's a blocked Bottas off. A little bit defensive there. He's trying to go around the outside, but again, he's not confident with the car to stick that through as well. I did have a look as damage there, as that is Sergio Perez, and his first race back at McLaren hasn't gone well. We'll keep an eye on McLaren because technically I'm still a McLaren junior driver as well. Speaking of as well. Lando Norris used to be in that car, has lost out to Leclerc in the pit stops as well, but they are behind. Yeah, I should point out that I'm not a Red Bull driver, but I mean, I know that Verstappen is way too fast even on those hard tyres. It seems the entire field has gone for hard tyres as well. There's no variation in strategy whatsoever. They've all gone medium hard. as well. You can see there that my mediums are atrocious, but this is not F123, so I have a bit the ability to take these tyres a little bit more, not lose as much time. You know, if this was F123, the undercut on new tyres would be a lot, you know. But this F124, I feel you can take the tyres a bit longer. As well as Norris sets a new fastest lap. He'll be closing. I think he's just got past Leclerc there as well. Mediums go off, softs go on, and it's a 2.5 second stop, exactly the same in my Williams manager career mode as well. I'm gonna come out. Oh dear, that's not what I wanted. It's P17. That's a bit miserable, but fortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it's dive bomb time. Yes, time down the inside of Gasly up to P16, a lovely little move there. Now I'm all over the back of Nico Hülkenberg. It was Magnussen who had the issue. Just to confirm there, the Haas, he's way down at the back. You can see him just at the back there, still going around. I've not got much ERS to play with. We'll have a little bit more, hopefully at the next race in Japan, but should do that 0% failure chance around the outside. We went there of Hülkenberg as well. I feel like this should be, you know, a standard overtake at Australia, but it's not into turn 1 because of the nature of it as well. And that's Albon going slowly. So, interestingly, 2 Mercedes-powered cars have both failed in the first race. That's interesting as well. So I had to lift off there because, you know, I've caught up to Bottas and Ocon. Yeah, I have to lift off because of the yellow flags. They're both racing, so trying to get to the front of this train as quickly as possible as well. But Ocon blocks me off momentarily, and I have to get a bit of understeer there as well. Now I've got to try and get Ocon. He's gone to the inside. Thank you much. Go to the outside turn 1, up to P13. Now it's about having a go at Valtteri Bottas. You know, he was all over the back of me in the first run, but now the roles are being reversed as well. So I'm having to look all over the back, trying to do, you know, trying to get past. I'm trying to do what I did to Magnussen earlier here, but Bottas blocks me off. So I'm instead going to have to use what ERS I've got left, and a bit of DRS as well. You know, I could charge the battery as well, but the AI don't charge the battery. They always have medium, I find. But around the outside, and we throw Bottas out to make that move as well with confidence there. You know, force. I think, yeah, Bottas was way too polite there and making his overtake, and I forced him off. Forced him to the inside there, which compromised his line into that corner. Now, up the road, we've got Porsche and Tsunoda. This is crucial because it's now the final point. I am closing in on these two, but I don't know if we're going to have the tyres and all the laps remaining to be able to catch up to them. Up at the front, Verstappen does indeed lead, but it's Norris versus Leclerc versus Alonso. So Piastri's not even in P4 ahead of the Astons. That is very poor, as well as Porsche and Tsunoda swap positions. Tsunoda down the inside, unable to get past Porsche. Porsche could be on for a point on his debut here for Williams. But of course, there are 4 DRS zones around at Albert Park, and Tsunoda's going to make full use around the outside at turn 10, and he takes a copy out of what I do. But we move to the last lap, lap number 20, and it's Porsche, the man who has DRS, down into that same corner, and he's got pulled ahead of Tsunoda, and it's double DRS zone as well. Behind me, Bottas's tyres. I think Bottas pit early. There's almost 3 wide there between Ocon and I think that's Hülkenberg as well. Both getting past Bottas. You know, such, you know, he shows so promising. I think Bottas has fallen behind Gasly as well. Yeah, for me, it's P12. It's not to qualifying as, you know, that really ruined you know, chances of getting points qualifying. Obviously it would have been P14 had Perez and Russell not retired, but yes, it's no points for Tsunoda either. But there's still a little bit of work that needs to be done there. As I said earlier, with the car, getting, and also just me not playing the game consistently for about a month and a half, or a month, for about 5 weeks, I think it is actually, since the last previous episode. So yes, Drivers' Championship as it is, Norris got the fastest lap in the end over his teammate Verstappen. So yes, it doesn't really matter because Red Bull are way out in front. I think that we're going to be in the battle, possibly for P6, depending on how quickly I can upgrade. But obviously, Porsche did beat me today. Did beat both of us today. As our rivalry with Formula 6. I'm not winning the thing against Hamilton. I thought we won that in the previous season, but that shouldn't really transfer between seasons, really. As well. Rating experience has gone up to 1 level, as has racecraft. It's my strongest stat. As well, so yeah, all a little bit of helping, not really getting that big boost that I was hoping for. I think we set 8 in the 80s as well, but recognition, close to getting that second R&D secret upgrade, so I'll keep pushing for that. Unfortunately, it wasn't a good day with the specialists, so yes, I'll come back to work on those in the next episode in Suzuka, which will be out next week. There's the rest of the calendar in case you didn't catch the pre-season episode as well. Yes, early signs though. McLaren may be fastest on paper, but on track, very poor. Piastri finished behind Russell in the end as well, which would be really unacceptable. Aston Martin look very good. A lot, it seems that new Santander money has actually proved quite well for them over the winter period. Leclerc and Sainz, different fortunes as well. Albon will be annoyed that the reliability for Williams has been continued to be a bit poor. He retired a few times in season 1 as my teammate, and also had unfortunate pit stops as well. But yes, I'm not too upset about being behind Tsunoda. He did qualify ahead of me as well. Just got to work on fine-tuning where the AI at, and make sure, and obviously getting this car up to pace with upgrades. But yes, that's where I'm going to leave it today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel to see plenty more F124 drive videos as and when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.